All right, this is week 2 of the Mastermind from John Maxwell's book, Developing the Leaders Around You. Week 2 is the leader's toughest question, the leader's toughest challenge, creating a climate for potential leaders. Creating a climate, or you could say creating the environment for potential leaders. He gives us 9 points. Number 1, leaders must be environmental change agents. He says you're either a thermostat or you're a thermometer. You're either affecting the temperature or you're just measuring the temperature. If you're a thermometer, there's not much you can do other than just let everybody know, hey, this is what's going on and I'm frustrated with it. If you are a thermostat, then you actually get to adjust the temperature and make a difference. And so you can choose which one you want to be. John Maxwell said this: momentum is the greatest of all change agents. More than 90% of the successful changes we've instituted in our organization have been the result of creating momentum before asking people to change. The thing that I found interesting about his statement is he says that they created momentum before they asked people to change. So they were already winning when they brought up change. And a lot of times we try to bring up change so we start winning, and Maxwell is saying it's the other way around. He says to maximize the value of momentum, leaders must, number 1, develop an appreciation for it early. Number 2, know the key ingredients of it immediately. And number 3, pour resources into it always. So the question that we ask ourselves is, how much are you in love with momentum? Because if you're in love with momentum, it'll cause an impact in your business. He says water boils at 212, not at 211. That 1 degree difference makes a big impact on your business. It can be the difference between steam that powers a whole engine, or it can just be water that's just hot. And so you know whether you're at 211 or if you're at 212. And so that 1 degree, a lot of times people get to that 1 degree and it's that one more that you got to push over the edge. So number 1, leaders must be an environmental change agent. Number 2, they must model the desired style of leadership. What that means is simply this: the people that are following you are going to copy you whether you like it or not. Whatever you value, they're going to value. Whatever you do, they're going to do. Whatever you say, they're going to say. If you've got children, you know what this is like, because I have 3 and they copy everything that we do. If I accidentally say something that I don't want to say, then my child will say it 30 times in the next hour. They'll do anything that you do, and leaders are the same way. So a lot of times when we're frustrated with what one of our potential leaders is doing, the first place that we need to look is ourselves, because they're just copying us. And we're aggravated with them, but they learned it from us. Number 3, focus on the potential of the leader and the organization. He says this: those who believe in our abilities to create an atmosphere where it becomes easier to succeed. The opposite is also true. Those who believe in our abilities, the ones that come along and say, hey, you can do this, I believe in you, are the ones that we like, and they encourage us and create an environment where we can succeed. But there's also, we know people that are the opposite. They always say it's not possible. They say like this virus is going to hold you down, all of this junk that they put in. And so they create an environment of failure. So as a leader, you have to constantly be looking at yourself, and are your words and are your actions creating an environment for success or failure? We all intend on success, but sometimes our words speak louder than what we're intending in our mind. To ensure success, identify the potential in every future leader and cultivate it in the light of the needs of the organization. Look to see what they're good at, where their strengths are, and help encourage them in those. Number 4, focus on the potential leader's needs, their desires. Great leaders know the desires of the people they lead. He says this, that knowledge, ability, and skill are secondary compared to your potential leaders knowing that you know what they want in life. So the simple question is, why are they in the business? Why are they with you? What is it that they desire? That comes first. Napoleon Bonaparte said this: the secret to leadership, he first determined what his men wanted most, then he did everything possible to help them get it. Maxwell says that most leaders do the opposite. They decide what they want, then try to persuade all the people following them to want the same thing so that they can go and get it. And so he's saying the secret is figure out what your people want. What is it that they desire? Because when you know that, then you have a hold of their heart, and then you can make their feet move as well. Number 5, look for the leader within the person. Look for the leader within the person. It takes a leader with vision to see potential other leaders. Here's some things that Maxwell recommends you look for: positivity, servanthood, growth potential, follow through, loyalty, resilience, integrity, a big picture mindset, discipline, and gratitude. These are just a few that you can look for in a person, and they're indicators. A lot of times we're judging people off of indicators that we don't want to be judged off of ourselves. Judge people off of what you want to be judged from, and identify the leaders from within that way. Number 6, place an emphasis on production, not position and title. It simply means the people that are showing up and working are your leaders, not the ones that maybe have been with you the longest that happen to have a title or position, not the ones that maybe have a key to the building, but instead the ones that are actually doing the work and showing up and producing for you. And we oftentimes say the time you've been with a company doesn't make you a leader. It's the impact you make on the company that makes you a leader. Number 7, provide growth opportunities. What does the potential leader in your organization have the opportunity to grow with? Like, do they have places they can increase? Or are they in an organization where all they can do is show up and, follow their orders, and they can't lead? So do they have the opportunity to lead? Maxwell tells this story of a parrot. This lady bought a parrot, and she took the parrot home. She wanted it as a friend. Somebody talked to her and said the parrot didn't talk at all. So she goes back to the store, and she tells the owner and says, "Hey, that parrot didn't say anything." And the owner says, "Well, does he have a mirror?" I said, "No." So she bought him a mirror, brings it home. He still doesn't talk, goes back, says, "Well, get him a ladder." So he got him a ladder, brings it back. And then he goes back, says, "Still not talking." She said, "Why don't you get a swing?" So he gets the swing, takes it home. And then the next day, he comes back, and she says, "The parrot died." And the owner said, "Well, that's interesting." He said, "Did the parrot say anything before he died?" He said, "Yes." The parrot said, "Does that store have any food?" A lot of times what we're trying to do is we're trying to give everybody all these different things that we think they need, instead of just asking, what is it that you need? Sometimes they just need food, and we want to provide this special swing or this special mirror or ladder that is, just is incredible, and it is. They just need food at that point. And so figure out what they need and give them the opportunities to grow. Number 8, lead, don't manage with vision. Lead, don't manage with vision. Cast vision with your potential leaders often. That means that you don't cast vision once a month. It means you're casting vision every time you're talking to them. Your job is to paint a picture of what the future can be like if y'all continue moving in the right direction. So constantly cast vision. Managers are maintainers, while leaders are creators and innovators. Managers are simply just trying to keep things alive so they can hope to win at the end. But leaders are casting a vision that they're always going to win at the end and painting that picture. An effective vision provides guidance and direction. It guides people on the path they're taking, and it paints a picture of the direction they're going in. So the next time you're talking to a potential leader, you've got to ask yourself the question, am I casting vision in such a way that it's guiding people and it's directing people? Number 9, and then we'll end, pay the price that attracts leaders. Pay the price that attracts leaders. Maxwell is famous for saying a person can pay now and play later, or he can play now and pay later. You get to decide. You can pay now so that you can enjoy life later, or you can play right now and enjoy your life, and then you won't have as much, and you can pay for it later. You get to decide. Creating a climate for potential leaders requires you as the leader to pay a price, and that is personal growth. Maxwell talks often about the principle of the lid. Whenever you stop growing, you stop your organization from growing. Whenever you stop moving forward, your team stops moving forward. And yes, you may be far in front of them, and you may be leading them, and you've already gone places that they've not gone, but the second that you stop, It stops them. As a leader, you're at the front of the train. So you can't think, when I stop my train, when I stop mine, they'll keep moving. That's not the way leadership works. You have to keep moving forward, and they'll keep moving forward as well. Here's some questions on commitment to personal growth. Do I have a game plan for personal growth? Like, do you have a personal plan? Because the most valuable thing that you have in your organization is yourself. So do you have a game plan to increase your profitability and increase your potential? Are you the leader of that plan? Are you in charge of that plan? Am I willing to change to keep growing, even if it means giving up my current position if I'm not experiencing growth? Are you willing to change so that you can grow even if you're comfortable right now? Is my life an example for others to follow? Am I willing to pay the price to become a great leader? So these are questions you have to ask yourself, because if you're not growing, they're not going to grow either. Here's some group questions we'll go over in just a second. What are some of the ways that you are setting the temperature in your organization? What are some things you can do to create an environment for growth in potential leaders? What area of creating a growth climate are you struggling with the most? And what is your biggest frustration in regards to creating and maintaining an environment for potential leaders to grow?